I got paid today, and I've always loved the videos here on YouTube where people share what they do on their paydays. So this is the first time that I've done this, and I'm going to give you 3 things that I do that I think you should think about or actually incorporate into your own paydays. So let's get started by talking about the general overall system. And there's 2 parts to the whole payday scheme. There's money coming in and there's money going out. So I want to keep this as simple as possible. I'm going to share the first 3 ways that I make money, that money comes into my pockets. These things, I guess, would be considered an asset or ways that I get my money. And then the other flip side of that is the money going out. I'll share that after I do the first part so you can see exactly how I distribute my money. And this is something that I've been doing for a while now. Kind of when I reset my finances, I really needed to get clear on the input and the output. And I'm really happy with how I do this because it's allowed me to increase my net worth. It's allowed me an extreme sense of peace of mind. And most importantly, it's allowed me to achieve the financial goals that I have. So I've got 3 ways that money comes in. And the very first way is my paycheck. Today is payday. I get paid every 2 weeks. The amount is roughly the same, but fluctuates a little bit every kind of year as the seasons change, as I've paid my dues for my union and my insurance benefits and these other things that get taken off my paycheck, which I really have no say in. I'm obviously grateful that I have protected with health insurance and all these other things that come with that. But I've got money coming in from my paycheck every 2 weeks. So there's 26 pay periods, and roughly that amount is the same. The second way I get paid is I get paid through my online business. And that's here on YouTube, where I'm able to earn money through AdSense. So watch this video, hit the thumbs up button, do all that thing, come back and watch more videos, and it helps me out here, helping you out, all for free. I think that's a pretty good deal. But AdSense is one way that I make money from this YouTube channel, but also from my other YouTube channel. I'm also able to monetize in other ways, like I've done in the past some online courses, I've done some coaching, I've put on some webinars, there's merch, and there's journal ideas, and there's membership communities, and I had a mastermind going on. So basically, that is a second way that I make money through my business, and the payments are usually monthly for AdSense here on YouTube. Some months I've made more than $1,000, but as I've not really focused on this channel for the last couple of years, that number has dropped greatly. But good news, you've seen in the last couple of months, I have been focusing back here. This is where all my attention is going, and I think that's a really good idea for you to go down and click the subscribe button. I love this channel. I'm very passionate about this stuff. It helps me. I'm able to share what I am learning, and hopefully it helps you as well. So back on YouTube, excited about this grind that I've got going on here. And really in this new house, in this new studio space, it allows me to just break down my workflow and get these videos out faster and higher quality, so much better. So I'm looking at bringing back my online courses. That is something that's going to be basically, as I sell a course, I'm going to be making that money, and that money is going into my bank account. And then the third way is just, I've kind of labeled it as other ways that I make money, whether that is selling investments, which is something that I don't try to do too often, but every once in a while you have to do if you need money, or if you've got a big purchase coming up, or if you just need to protect the money that you have, the value of your portfolio going up so much that you're like, hey, I have to make a sale. Well, that's always a good thing, right? So there's that, and sometimes you sell something, maybe on Facebook Marketplace, or you sell something, or you do some work for someone. They're able to make a big contribution or a little contribution depending on what it is. So that all adds up. My paycheck is my main source of income. My YouTube business and my online business allows me to make some months maybe more than my actual salary, and some months it's significantly less. But the thing that I like about that is I have a fixed salary that is coming in repeatedly as I show up to work and I do my job. And my YouTube channel can really be monetized however much or how far I want it to be based off the work that I put in. So that's why I believe everyone should have a side hustle. I'll save that stuff for another video. And then the other would be probably pretty small most of the time, but if I'm selling something like investments, that can be a pretty large chunk of change, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. or more coming into my bank account. And no matter what I do, when money comes into my bank account, I work on the same outflow or the output. The process and system that I use is the exact same no matter where this money is coming in. So let's get into that right now. And when a payday is coming up, I actually get really excited because that means I'm able to put money into the system that I use, into the vehicles, into 3 different areas that I've really designated and delegated my money going, because it works. It works. It's given me a huge amount of peace of mind. It's allowed me to pay off my debt. I pay off my car next week, literally in like 4 days. So that's really exciting for me because after that, there'll be no more car payments, and I'm able to take that $500 roughly every single month and put it into this system to use it for savings and investments and goals that I have. And I'll outline those for you right now. So there's 3 things that I do every single payday. And number 1 is I pay my bills, which I don't really have a lot of, but I do have things like my mortgage, like my car insurance, like my life insurance, like my auto loan for the next couple days, obviously. I have things that I have to pay for. So the very first thing is I want to make sure that my dues are paid in full, and my dues, or bills I should say, are paid on time, right? That is something that I don't like, owing money to people. So I am just really prioritizing, number 1, paying my bills so that the light stays on, so that my house is heated and all those things. Peace of mind, I don't have to worry about that. So that's number 1. Number 2 is I spend sensibly, right? And by spending sensibly, some people have a method where they only use money that they take out of an envelope and they've budgeted in different areas. That's not how I work, at least in practicality. In theory, I might do something similar. But what I do is at the beginning of every month, I use a budgeting app that allows me to see where every dollar is going, where every dollar is going towards bills, towards saving, towards spending, towards investing in other vehicles that will grow my money. So for me, I make sure that before I even get the money in my bank account, I know where every dollar is going. And I love this because it allows me to be super purposeful with my money. And if you're not being purposeful about your money, or if you do not have a plan for your money, it's going to go everywhere and you're going to lose it. Trust me, I've been there before. That's why I make these videos. And that is why I share with you what I have learned, because you can go from a space where you're not good with your money to where you are extremely good with your money. And money is not necessarily a game that you play anymore, but money serves a purpose. It helps you live out your values. And ultimately, I believe that it is a tool. So I have my budgeting app every month that I set up different areas and different criteria. And I don't worry about that because once it's set up, I know it works. And I've been doing this for long enough that I know that it's automated. It takes the emotion out of it. I still allow myself to have the needs and the wants that I'm interested in, the things that I enjoy. I still allow myself to put money in areas that allow me to have fun, right? So I'm not going without anything because I'm purposeful with my money. Budgeting, and then my day-to-day spending happens on my credit card. I do this not because I don't have the money. I basically spend everything on my credit card. I pay my balance in full every month as those come up on time so that I don't owe money, so that I don't accrue any interest on anything. And ultimately, I love getting the travel rewards that allow me to book free flights and free hotels for anywhere around the world. Enough videos here on my channel to explain how that all happens and how I do that. But I spend sensibly. Spending sensibly is really hard when you have a credit card, but when you use an app like YNAB, I think that's what it's called, You Need a Budget, or the Every Dollar app like I use, I think the two go hand in hand and really allow you to be smart with your money. So those are the first 2 things that I do with my paycheck or every payday. The third thing is I save with something I call sinking funds. And sinking funds are basically an area that when you have money coming in, you're able to delegate it to different areas. Or for me, I have money coming into one main account. I'm able to delegate that or send it to different accounts that are high interest savings accounts that that earn something like 3 to 4% interest, which is 10 times more than the big banks are going to give me. So I use my sinking funds. I set those up mainly with EQ Bank here in Canada. I know in Canada there's a few different options, in the US and maybe your country there is as well. But high interest saving accounts are the way and the thing that you should be targeting so that you can earn more interest month after month, year after year. Because when you do have a substantial amount of money in an account, like $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000, that interest actually adds up more than you realize. That's why I target high interest savings accounts. And I have probably like 5 different accounts that I direct money into every paycheck. And sometimes that's $50 or $100, or sometimes that might be $500 or $1,000, depending on my spending goals, depending on how much money is coming in as well. And I basically do this by percentages or how much focus I want to set towards a specific goal. So some of those accounts that I send things to, I transfer a predetermined dollar amount to one of 5 high interest savings accounts. I have my $1,000 emergency fund. So basically I set that up, I focused on that, I got $1,000 in that account, and I don't take from it unless it's an emergency, unless I really need that money. And that is money that I can access at the click of a button. Basically, could go into a bank, or I could go into an ATM, or I could do an online transfer and access that money. I don't touch it, but the good thing is it is earning me interest every single month and every single year. So even though I don't touch that amount, $1,000 is going to stay $1,000, but actually grow more than that. So that just makes sense. And that is a piece that gives me ultimately peace of mind if I need to go get some money out. The second account is my house fund. I recently bought a house, so I'm not saving up for a down payment anymore. But what I have done is from every paycheck, I've calculated every paycheck for the next year. And a month after buying my house, I had to pay my property taxes, which obviously you know are coming, but sometimes you don't realize how big that number actually is. And sometimes it can be scary depending on where you live, or what the house and how old the house is, and just that number that you're going to add on to everything. For me, that was right after, like a month after I bought my house. And so you already have so many expenses with the down payment and the regular payments and the insurance and then buying things for your house. On top of all of that, I had to buy and pay for my property taxes, which kind of was overwhelming for a little bit. So I said, I don't want to feel this way next year during the same time when I need to pay my property tax. So what I'm going to do is take my yearly property tax value. I'm going to divide it by 26 payments, because that is how I get paid. And I'm going to put $150 into that account every single paycheck. So that is what I do. At the end of the year, I'll be able to make that payment and I'll be able to pay it off. And just basically the money is just exchanging hands. And the discipline to do that is something that a lot of people struggle with. And so that is why I would recommend making these payments automatic. So you find that number, $150, $300, $500 every month, or whatever it is, and you take it and you set up automatic payments scheduled to or just after your payday, so that you actually follow through on that and you don't take the emotion out of it where you're like, oh, I know my house payment needs to get kind of set up for my house insurance, but it's okay if I miss one, or if it's okay if I take that money and use it for those nice pair of sneakers that I want to buy, or whatever it is, whatever your vice is, setting it up automatically and taking the emotion out of it can really set you up for success financially. Number 3 we're going to talk about is my actual emergency fund. So for my emergency fund, I'm able to put money away consistently into that and grow it to, let's say, 6 months. Some people like doing a year of an emergency fund compared to their regular salary, in case they lost their job or in case they got sick, if they don't have good benefits. And there's some pros and cons. So in your individual situation, you might want to think about taking $200, $300 out of every paycheck, maybe even less than that, but you should start with what you can afford. Building up an emergency fund, that is ultimate peace of mind, in my opinion. And again, being in a high interest savings account, it is going to earn you interest consistently. Account number 4 is what I call my fund, my F-U-N, all capitalized, and then a little d. Fund, because I can use this for fun. I can use this for whatever I want. This might be for vacations, if I'm interested in going on a vacation somewhere. This might be to go on a trip. I know I said vacations, but trips and vacations, in my opinion, are different. This could be to buy something that you want to buy. Like for me, I look at some of the things that I want to buy, and like I've set money aside for this fund, and I'm consistently adding to it every 2 weeks for just whatever I want. And for me, my goal right now is to buy a classic vehicle, which for a lot of you would surprise you if you knew who I was and kind of the interest, because you've probably never seen that side of me. And there's one type of vehicle that I really have always loved. It's a classic. I'll pop a photo of it here. And I won't say any more. You'll see it someday, maybe in a year, maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10 years, if that is still my goal. But adding money into that to do whatever I want with is something that I think is a lot of fun. And the last high interest saving account or sinking fund that I add to is basically my investments. So every month I want to invest $500. Every month I want to invest $1,000. Every month I want to invest $200 because that's what I can afford to invest. It's up to you to determine that. And then from there, make those regular contributions as you can and as your money comes in, right? For me, investing has been incredibly good to me. I still wish that I would have invested more, but you have to be smart with your money. All of your investments or all of your money being in your investments is not a smart thing to do. And I've been there before. I know that. So I've been able to diversify what I do. So to recap, as money comes in, I have 3 different income streams. I encourage you to have multiple income streams in different areas, in different niches, in different types of income. So I've got my job, I've got my online business, and I have other things that are added to that. I'm getting money in those different ways. And then money goes out into different areas. 3 different areas where I pay my bills, where I spend sensibly, and I add to my sinking funds. Sinking funds are things that I'm going to talk about in another video coming up very soon. So if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button, drop your questions and comments down below, and click the subscribe button if you want to learn how you can upgrade your mindset, money, and more. Thanks for watching.